going on, YouTube? So back with another video. I just want to do a little, this video is going to be talking about something that is very important to me, that I take very serious. It's something that I use on my truck every day, and in my opinion every driver on this road should use it, even though they don't. And this may, it might just be rambling, but this is something I feel like that I want to speak my mind about and just put it out there for anybody that's coming into this industry and people who are new into the industry. So what I'm talking about is CB radio. First off, I'm in St. Joseph, Missouri at the Loves off the 29. Just picked up my load, heading to Barstow, California. Anyway, so back to what I was saying about the CB radio. I take it very serious about my CB radio. I've invested a lot of money in my CB radio. Even though a lot of people on this road doesn't use a CB radio anymore, it's something that I'm very, I wouldn't say passionate about, but it's something I'm very stern and but even when I trained, my number one rule on my truck was my CB radio never went off until we went to bed at night. The radio stayed on, even if you didn't hear nothing for hours and no one was talked back to you, no one gave you a radio check, the radio never went off, period. And I'm going to tell you a couple instances where the radio saved me from losing a lot of hours and saved me from getting into a major accident. But to give you kind of info about what the radio I have a Stryker SR497 HPC. Pushes right about 100 watts. So far, on a clear day, I've been able to reach out. Speaking to someone else who also had a large radio, I reached out 30 miles. On average, someone who doesn't have a very big radio, I usually get out 5-6 miles, which is more than enough. But the main reason why I'm about radios, and I also run my own antenna. Anybody who's getting in these newer trucks and anybody who drives them, they know that the antennas are terrible. The internal antennas that came factory with the trucks are terrible. So I always suggest anybody, if you have a CB, to run your own antenna, because it makes a world of a difference. Once you run the antenna, try to set your SWRs if you don't know how to do that. Whenever this video comes up, if anybody wants to comment and you're wanting to know how to do the SWRs, comment, and if I get enough people wanting to have one, I will make a video about how to set the SWRs on your radio. Like I said, I mount my own antenna so that I know that I've got a good ground, I've got good reception and good power to send out. I make sure I don't buy cheap mics, because it's just not that cheap mics don't work. They do, but they might go out sooner than a more expensive one, and by the time you buy a cheap one over cheap one over cheap one, you're better off to spend the extra money buying an expensive mic, and it lasts you for a long time. The mic that I have now has lasted me 2.5 years. It's an ecstatic mic. You can buy them at mainly all truck stops. Like I said, I have a Stryker radio. The truck that I drive, if you've watched a previous video, is a Peterbilt 579. And because I'm flatbed, I have a headache rack, so I mount my antenna on the headache rack. This is the main reason why I have a CB antenna, a CB radio, excuse me. First instance, this is when I first started driving. At the time, I didn't have a big radio. I just had a standard bought from a truck stop Cobra 29. Didn't really do much, but I could hear, more than I could speak out. Me and my wife were going through, I want to say we were in Arkansas. We had just went through Memphis, and we were in a terrible ice storm. The roads were so icy that you couldn't even give your truck fuel. You basically had to idle and gear because you were just spinning. And there was multiple accidents. And we were going so slow you would have seen the accident, but at the same time, the road would clear up, it wouldn't be icy, you could speed up, and then you'd instantly hit ice again. And because I had a CB radio, the guys way ahead of us were saying, hey, I'm on marker such and such, it gets really icy again, so we could start slowing down. And then, accidents would happen, and we knew to slow down or what lane to get in. So that's the first instance. There's been a couple instances where there's been major accidents on the interstate, and because I had a CB radio, and this is after I've got my bigger radio, I can listen way farther. So I've been given 5-6 mile heads up that, hey, there's a really bad accident here, the road's completely shut down, and I might be on a time crunch. So now I can pull off to the side, grab my atlas, find a route around the accident and get around it. And then I can also radio out to fellow drivers who are also asking or trying to find a route around the accident. It's like, hey, this is the way I'm gonna go, this is a legal route, this is gonna get us around. And so that's another reason why I have it. It has also, saved me from getting in accidents. That's the biggest thing. It's a great tool. We do have a lot of shippers and receivers that require radios to speak to them to check in and check out, such and such, so on and so forth. But the biggest thing is because of safety. That's the number one key out here is safety. I take this very serious when it comes to safety, especially because my wife is on the truck with me. Even if I was alone, I still take safety very serious, but knowing that my wife is here, this is something that I have a CDL. I know the dangers of driving. She's just a passenger. She's not here to get out and get to an accident. She's just here to enjoy the ride. So my goal is to keep her safe so she can enjoy that ride. So that's why I keep a CB radio. Right now the radio is turned off because I'm sitting at a truck stop. I'm not really going anywhere, and I'm done for the day. So the radio is turned off. But every morning when I get up, after I start my truck, the first thing I do when I start my truck up in the morning is I turn the CB on, make sure I ask for a radio check, make sure everybody can hear me, make sure everything's working perfectly. If the radio is not working, I will not leave, period. I have asked to get appointments adjusted because I will not leave until my CB's on point, is working, because I will not drive without a CB, period. That's just how I am. That's just me. So that's just how I am with my CB radio. Like I said, they're very important. It's a big safety feature to have on these trucks. It bothers me a lot that a lot of drivers don't use them, or they have them in the truck and they only turn them on when they get into traffic jams. That really bothers me. But it is what it is. But anybody who watches this, and you're thinking about coming into trucking, my number one thing is when you do get your own truck and you're ready to hit the road, the first thing you need to do, absolutely, before you go on the road, is you need to have a CB radio in your truck, and it needs to be turned on, and you need to make sure it's working. You need to have a CB radio in that truck, irregardless if no one talks back to you or you don't hear no one talk for hours on end. Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of messed up stuff out here on the road. That's the downfall. A lot of people fighting and cussing with each other, but I ignore that and I just focus on the safety aspect of it, and it is what it is. So my advice to anyone who's coming into this industry and who started in this industry, you have to have a CB radio, period, point blank, period. And I will preach that until the day I die, to have a CB radio in your truck and to use it. That's the biggest thing. But I'll show you my radio now and show you what it looks like. I bought mine at Walcott Radio in Iowa, in Walcott, Iowa. It's right across the street from Iowa 80. Great place, decently priced. Didn't really pay that much for it. They gave me a good deal on it, and they worked really well for me, and it's been a great radio ever since. So let me get you unmounted here off my little mount here off the steering wheel, and I'll show you the radio. So if you can see it, you might not be able to see it. Let me turn some lights on here. You probably still can. There you go. It looks a little bit crooked because of these trucks. They don't. It won't fit 100%, but as you can see, it does work. I can change the colors, make 2 different colors. I think it has 10, 11 colors or something like that. I run blue just because the truck is blue. Works great. This is my mic, a static mic. But yeah, that's the CB. Like I said, if anybody wants to ask how to set SWRs, let me know, and I'll make a how-to video on that, and we'll go from there. And if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe if you'd like, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.